I can't get my thoughts all in order. There is part of this book though that I did find like it was a bit of a trip. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a book review for The Girl and the Stars by Mark Lawrence. Yes, I was so excited to read this, especially when I found out that it is in the same universe as A Beth, which is the same, which is the Red Sister trilogy with Nona Gray. I loved that trilogy and I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It's the first book. I don't know if it's gonna, it's probably just gonna be a trilogy. That seems to be Mark's like theme. But yeah, it's the book one of the Book of the Ice. And damn, it ended on a cliffhanger, so it better have something coming after this because I will scream. I will scream. That's the end of it. Yeah, so this one is, so whereas the Red Sister was set in the green belt of A Beth, this is set on the ice from the perspective of a girl that comes from one of the ice tribes. And I was like, yes, wonderful. I need this whole universe perspective. I need this. This is amazing. Yeah, so I'm just going to calm down just for a second. Yeah, so on the ice, it's a lot different to the green belt. When children start to show signs of weaknesses, or if they run too fast, for example, then they're going to burn out quicker, that is then considered as a broken trait, and they are then tossed into a big old hole in the ice. Because why would we waste valuable things on someone that's going to die quickly and not give everything they can to the tribe? Super messed up, yes. But I mean, I live for that. Wonderful, love that. Also, if you want to see in the first few chapters a cannibal with a recognizable face hanging from her belt, yes, read the book. Read this one because that is exactly what you're going to get. That's about as non-spoilery, even with like the cannibal thing. But that's just a little teaser. That's just a little teaser there. Yeah. So if you want to read this series, I would absolutely recommend it. I would say that if you want sort of to go in with a lot more perspective, I would read the Red Sister trilogy first. You don't have to, but I think I would recommend it first, just because like it gives you a whole different perspective of like what's going on in A Beth, and like, yeah, I mean, you could even do it around the other way. You could read this series first when all of them are out, and then read all of the Red Sister trilogy, because that would also work, because it's different pieces of information together. Anyway, now for the non-spoilery. So if you want to read it, please stop the video, go and read it, come back and talk to me about it. Okay, so for the non-spoilery, Yaz thinks that the main character, Yaz, thinks she's going to get tossed into the pit because she can see this river that no one else can. So the river in this book is the path that we have in the Red Sister series. Anyway, yeah, so it all intertwines. It's just like from different perspectives. It's different things to different characters. Love that. So she thinks that she's broken, so essentially she's done for. So the boy that she's planning on sharing a tent with, he tells her he loves her right before like the ceremony, and she's like, I'm not gonna say it back because I'm probably gonna get tossed today. So so she goes up. The regulator says, no, we're gonna keep you though because I can sense something special in you. She walks forward and she's like shook because she thinks that she thought the whole time that she was going to get tossed in, And then she hears her brother screaming because he just got tossed in. So, of course, being the good big sister that anyone should be, she jumps in after him, wanting to save him, even though she thinks that it's like a death trap anyway, and she's gonna die as soon as she hits the ground anyway. But anyway, that's the logic of being an older sibling, right? Go and do it anyway. Yeah, so she dives down there, realizes that there's this whole civilization down there, and there's this whole plot that she hadn't realized because the priests are sending them down food and things so they can mine iron for them. And Yaz is like, yo, we're throwing children down here. This is not okay. Not okay. And then a blind old man tells her that she's going to be this agent of change. That's what it was. This agent of change. And she's like, yeah, okay, like nothing special, whatever. I just want to get my brother and out. Thank you so much. And of course, that does not happen. She finds the broken, but her brother has been taken by the tainted, which are, they were members of the broken, but they have been taken and infested with demons. Oh yeah. If you haven't read it yet and you're listening to the spoilery part, yeah, this is the part where you go and read it because it's very interesting. It's also very complex, so I'm very sorry if I'm like rushing over a lot of the details because I have a lot of emotions about it. One thing I did notice though that was different about this book compared to like the whole of the Red Sister trilogy is that in the Red Sister trilogy, Nona mentions that she has crushes and things like that, but there's no romance, would I say? I mean, not every book needs romance. I understand that. I still read the whole trilogy and there was like a teeny smidgen of something that could have been romance, but it was still wonderful. But I feel like he's changing it in this one and I love it. I love that it's different and that we had potentially 3 love interests in this book. But I did love that it was all different. I've totally lost like my whole train of thought, so that's wonderful. But yeah, I really liked because she has this like manipulation with the stars, and I love it. And the stars are actually fragments of the ship hearts that we have in the Red Sister trilogy, and blah, blah. It was just really good. It was just a really good sort of, I don't even know. I've tried to do this review like 2 or 3 times now, and I can't get my thoughts all in order. There is part of this book though that I did find like it was a bit of a trip. Because there's a city underneath the ice, and you sort of get that gist in the Red Sister trilogy when they're talking about how the arcs, is that what it was? That were like buried under the ice. They were left there by the missing or whatever they call them in the Red Sister trilogy. And the city under the ice is trying to repel Yaz because I can't even remember what it was, that because she had the quantal like powers, I believe. But yeah, anyway, it didn't like her. The city didn't like her, and she fell through whatever she did, and Eris found her, and he was living in the void in the city. You see where I'm going with this whole, like, it was like a bit of a trip. So he was in a void in the city. He wasn't actually a person, but he showed her grass and trees and butterflies and bees, and that was not meant to rhyme. And he said that he was building a body for himself, and he had been for thousands and thousands of years. He wasn't supposed to sleep that long. And I honestly did get lost in that part because I was like, what is actually happening? And then as she's trying to walk through walls out of the city again with Eris, she comes across another person that's in another sort of like memory of the city or something, and it's Elias. His name is Elias Taproot, and he's running away from Ceus, which is like this god that's after them. And then she comes back out in the city again, and it was really confusing, but somehow it worked. Please, if you read Mark Lawrence and you're just wondering whether you're going to read this book, can you please read it and just, can we have some discussions? Because I know that it's going to get explained a lot more in the next two books, because it was already explained, like a lot was explained that I was very confused about in the start of the book, at the end of the book, like it was explained and I was like, okay, this makes a lot more sense, but I don't want to wait. So can we just discuss it? Can you just hit me up on Instagram or on my comments or something, and can we discuss this? Because it did confuse me quite a lot. Yeah, that's I think the biggest thing. Also with the Red Sister trilogy, I found it quite hard to read with like the lack of commas and things like that. Sorry, Mark Lawrence, it's just something that I noticed. Also, I think it was page 434, he calls Eula Thurin. I think it was just like a typo, because like otherwise the sentence would make no sense whatsoever. But they're the only things that I can really floor it. I think that's why, like, it's still a 4-star read, because I'm like, yes, I need to know. Also, the cliffhanger at the end of the book where they're all escaping finally out of the ice and they're in the cage that only Yaz was supposed to be in, and she decides to climb up the cable to say, hey, look, this is what's going on. I've got people in there. We're getting out of here. She doesn't end up being able to say any of that because the old dude Eula is up there already, and he's like, okay, cool, let's take her home. Oh, and drop the cage. And her brother and Eris and Quell and Ko are all in there. Maya's out because she climbed out, but the rest of them are all in here. All 3 love interests, all of them, and her little brother in the cage. And he told them to drop it. And I now can't wait 12 months for the next book. I'm really sorry if this was like a really like muddled up review. I literally only finished it this morning, so maybe I should have like slept on it. But I also have True Life Waiting for Me by J. Kristoff. I have it waiting for me, and I was like, I need to get all of my thoughts out about this book before I start another one, because otherwise I'm gonna get confused, and I'm already confused. So it's fine, whatever. Okay, if you've stuck around for so long, thank you so much. Well done you, claps for you. But yeah, my next book review is going to definitely be True Life by J. Kristoff, and I think I have a fairy loot box on my way, so let's see what one it is. Okay, don't forget to like and subscribe Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to hear more of this word vomit that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, okay guys, okay, thank you, bye.